Welcome
to the Emancipating Scion. I finally found a way to win.
Yeah, no, you did. Quick update for the recording. We switched away from Dungeons and Dragons towards the system Godskiller to fix a couple of the issues we were facing with the campaign. And now I have no more reason to call it Dunmers and Divines. So one of the big changes is simply going to be that I agree with Frey on the name of the campaign.
And hopefully this will solve a little bit of our D&D burnout. Well, like potential burnout with the game caused by definite D&D burnout. Okay. Alright, so with that said, I know generally when it comes to the first god, it's a little more collaborative for God Killer. However, we are dropping this into the middle of a campaign. So I think let's essentially pick up where we left off, in that you are in the Mages Guild. Jira, to your knowledge, is unconscious, probably close to death. Some of the other mages are alive. You have defeated most of those that are opposing you, but one of the Ash servants is still awake and causing problems.
Right.
So it slavers nonsense in its ear with its too long tongue. So what do you do?
I'm going to roll to inflict violence upon the thing. I'm looking at it and I don't I don't. Okay, so like my healing might come from Wield of Power, but right now Gladius is focusing on first, taking care of the enemy. So inflict violence.
Would you say that they definitely wish you harm? Are you desperate right now?
I don't think that I am.
Is this personal?
I think it is personal now that Ajira's life is on the line.
Okay.
Like I don't know if they were coming in for me in particular. Into the Mages Guild, but I know that they've made it personal. I rolled an 8 and I have a +2, so on okay. Oh, so that is an overkill. 10 or more. You lose yourself to Righteous Fury. The GM will tell you the costs of your divinity. Shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I zone out in my Righteous Fury. So you strike with your sword at the Ash Servant, and you go for the same smite that you've done 100 times, but you're so overcome with emotion and so in tune with it that the smite actually is completely blinding to the room as a whole. So not only do you very much destroy the servant in front of you, but like there's a ripple of damage that's felt beyond that. You even Does it look like am I like breaking some important glassware and crystals?
Oh, for sure.
Like
There's all sorts of calcinators and alembics that are going to need some maintenance after this. Some crystals crack. Some of the magical lights even flicker out. But that said, the Ash Servant is still dealt with. So what do you do next?
Okay. I think that I move over to where Ajira is, sort of like really afraid of what I just accidentally unleashed because Jira was already in a bad state before even getting hit by a like an area of effect smite. So Claudius leans down, like isn't doesn't realize why everybody is like so slow to sort of come to Ajira's aid, because everybody's sort of still blinded, but Claudius is able to like see pretty easily. I'm going to use wield a power. I'm assuming that in the power of like the interplay of light and darkness, that I might be able to use that for healing, as it's often represented as like light is seen as a healing power in a lot of media.
So you don't currently have any powers because you haven't killed any gods.
Okay.
So
I'm
when it comes to like healing right now, you would probably have to use so you don't have awakened divinity.
Yep. So I can't manifest and I can't, and if I don't have a power, I can't manifest a miracle. I was like hoping that the like wield of power could be used until I kill a god as a means of representing the like spells I've already been using. So like smite like causes a bright light. My like face step can be seen as like moving at the speed of light.
I do think that we have ways to tempt fate is always a good sort of general purpose thing. I think you can try tempting fate. Yeah.
What's perilous feat I'm trying to accomplish?
So yeah, what are you trying to do here?
I'm trying to heal Ajira. It doesn't feel necessarily like a perilous feat in the sense of like we've already established in the narrative that like healing others hasn't really like been cause for like me to worry about my own health.
How about, given that I don't know, something about your abilities feels a little different. Something about this fight has intrinsically changed who you are and how you're engaging with the story. When you reach for your ability to lay on hands, like something feels wrong with it. So you are going to have to do something different in order to try to heal.
Okay, I'm gonna pray for guidance.
Okay.
Name the aid you seek. I think. What's the name of the Minotaur demigod that I have a covenant of worship with?
That's Mora House.
More houses.
Okay,
I can get behind that. That seems like a tenants union. Hold on. Minotaur demigod. Okay. More houses is the aid that I seek, and I answer one. The DM will describe the aid that actually comes as the answer. The other.
This actually does feel a lot like exactly lay on hands. So.
What do you mean lay on hands?
Well, I mean praying for guidance, aid the aid you seek, the aid that comes. So, I think that this. Okay. Does seem like something that can be used to imitate lay on hands fairly well. No. Look at the questions. It's omens and visions. You're right. Yeah, this is more like divination.
I decide which god answers my prayer or what unclear omen or vision besieges me. I think that like and you answered the other. So I'm
Right.
gonna say that More Houses answers my prayers, and you tell me what unclear omens or visions beseech me. Yeah, I'm gonna I don't know. What is your reason for saying I don't have a power right now? Because it just means I have like no game mechanics to represent the magics I've already been using.
Right. So this is like to start God Killer. You haven't killed a god yet.
I know. Yeah, I know that's supposed to be like the intro sequence. But
so we are a little bit in that intro sequence at this moment.
Okay.
You will kill a god very shortly. And that particular kind of power, I think, fits well into the god that you will fight. But right now, there's no mechanic within God Killer that allows for this, since you don't have that power yet. Does that make sense?
Can I wield the power as an exception to represent the stuff that I've already been able to do?
That is a little fair, especially since I'm going to give it to you soon. So yeah, let's.
Like I'm just trying to represent the stuff that I've already like.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
And in that case, you've done this specific act before perfectly. You've healed quite a few times.
Yep. Just note for this to work, you mark one strain. I think, for Ajira, I am going to mark one strain out of 5, I think.
But if we're saying that this is coming from Mora House, then you're quite far from the shrine layers or domains of Mora House. So just those 2.
Okay, so I got a +2. That's 8 +2. Oh my gosh, it's overkill. Maybe I shouldn't be putting on. Maybe I shouldn't be marking strain. On a 7 or 9, you do it. So I heal Ajira. On an overkill, the GM will describe how you also drain, terrify, or wreck what's around you.
Ooh, I love that. Okay, so you channel the power of Mora House, but Mora House is a warrior deity. He is about freeing the enslaved.
Yeah.
He's not, he can heal, but that's not his primary function. So you channel his power through your hands. You feel the strength of the bull filling you. Mm-hmm. And Ajira sucks in a breath. Her eyes flash open. She blinks wildly. But you hear thunks around you. When you turn, you see Sharn, your necromancer orc friend, Galbadir, the wood elf that you had conflict with as she was an enchanter, as well as Rhaenys, the steward of this mages guild, who were all not in great health due to this fight, but had been standing. Sharn had gotten around and been trying to heal people. All have what looks like wounds opening, like they've been speared by the horns of a bull. Their health has been channeled into Ajira, and they have thus been finished off.
Damn.
But Massolini is fine, the guild guide. Okay. So the only 2 survivors from the Mages Guild are the human Breton and the Khajiit Ajira.
The necromancer. We will never look at the moon in an act of necromancy ever again. It's Ajira, and what's the other one's name?
Massolini.
Massolini, yeah. Okay. I think that Glantis is sort of like terrified at this side effect. I was really hoping that I would be draining the crystals nearby and get more into debt with the guild, but I think that looking at this, Gladius is very is very distraught by this new side effect and is going to like basically curse more houses and be like, what is this? Why are you doing this to me and to my powers? I thought we had a deal. And I'm gonna okay. I feel I don't know if that would be pray for guidance to try to get an answer to like my question or challenge someone dangerous.
I mean, he's not here, so I think we can go with a pray for guidance.
Okay. Cool. I think that I'm going to get a vision of where I need to go, but I don't know from which gods. So like you tell me which gods to answers my prayer, but I'm trying to get a feel for like where will I go, like the path to basically answering my question. Like,
okay, so you're upset with Mora House and asking for guidance from anybody on how to
change my powers back to the way they were before, or gain mastery over my healing and smiting again.
Okay.
Yeah, praying for guidance for regaining control, basically.
Okay. So you... The Mages Guild suddenly goes somewhat dark and cloudy, as if filled with an unearthly mist. You can see shapes moving within the mist, but they're fairly undefined. You catch glimpses though of a Dunmer with a mohawk, speaking with a resplendent woman as she places her hands upon his, and a light glows. That's as much as you're able to get. The lights come back, and it's not clear exactly what just happened.
Okay. Which
so that there was a lot of light and dark and obscuring, so this was most likely Azura that answered your prayers.
Okay. Okay. I think,
but I'm not certain that's something that Gladius is aware of.
Yeah, I feel like Gladius is like something's answered, but it wasn't spidery enough to be Mephala.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Getting... Okay, wait. I'm a Dunmer with a mohawk. That's me. I was like, does Vivek have a mohawk? Is that... No, okay, got it. I need to get a blessing from the... Okay, what species was the resplendent...
Almost impossible to say. She was both shrouded by mist, but also too bright to look at.
Okay.
But as all this is happening, you hear the of guards' boots running down the stairs. You hear them communicating with each other, calling out orders. And as several of the Halalu guards come into the guild, one wearing lighter armor and a hood, begins by like seeing those injured and on the ground and trying to tend to them, calling out "dead, dead" as they approach the bodies of Galbadir, Sharn, and Rhaenys. But as they approach Massalini, they like put a hand on her and say, "You're fine," and keep going. The other two guards move through the rooms, shouting "clear" and "clear" as they identify no bodies. They come to you and say, "You seem to be the only person who's in relatively good health. What happened here?"
We were attacked by those ash fiends.
Well, you're not the only one tonight. Do you do you have anything specific? Did they say anything? We don't know what's going on.
No. If there's more attacks, we should go help.
My men are already on it, but I won't say that I won't take another hand. Are all the ones from this location cleared? Or that'll be HEB.
Yeah, there's like that. I think your men said yes.
Okay, then let's move out. There's more in the city this night.
Okay, I'm gonna do as I'm told.
Okay, sure thing.
Say how you show submission and answer one. The GM will show you a glimpse of their true intentions as they answer the other. How are you rewarded? What vulnerability do you reveal? I feel like Gladius is gonna try to help throughout the night with the other attacks, and is like not confident in his magical abilities anymore, and is like deeply troubled by that. And so like you I think that there's like the vulnerability I reveal to like the guards and the other people around here is that like I like desperately want to help, and it's my goal, it's what I'm willing to be vulnerable for, but that I am terrified at how powerless I am to do so right now. So you tell me how I'm rewarded for doing as I'm told.
Okay. So the night is long. It had been sort of like late evening, like 10 o'clock-ish, when you were woken, since you had gone to bed kind of early. Mm-hmm. And you are fighting these ash creatures all throughout Balmora until the dawn breaks. And it is dirty fighting. You are there are homes that have been sacked and broken into, so it's mostly house-to-house fighting. You see the bodies of many Balmorans that you're too late to do anything for. The Khajiit merchant that you know was a friend of Ajira. The Argonian urchin that slept outside. The Rhodey baby. The Silt Striders are all in a holler from all the violence around them. But the guard who first discovered you and has sort of enveloped you into his fighting force at the end of the night looks at you and says, "You fight well, even for an outlander. You're certainly not a member of House Halalu, but I can respect the way that you really stepped up this night. I don't know, we haven't had much of an opportunity for introductions. My name is Rathalas Sill. Do you have family here in Morrowind?
I think so.
You think so?
And I don't know. I might have given you the wrong impression. I wasn't doing this to help you or House Halalu. I was doing this for them.
Oh, that I can tell. But you seem like someone who might need some direction from time to time. If you need to use a clan name, you can borrow mine, Rathalas. You've certainly shown enough distinction that I'm willing to call you cousin.
Oh. Okay.
The name Rathalas won't get you far, but further than someone with no family that you know of.
What the fuck smells like this?
Are you stinky girly?
Okay. So yeah, Gladys hasn't really tried to access his any of his powers since it kind of went awry. I'm because both the smite and the healing ended up hurting people all around Gladius.
Mm-hmm.
So Gladius is thinking of I need to figure out what is happening, and that probably means some testing. And there's only one place where I can, see if my powers are dangerous to those around me without anybody around me to hurt, and that's by going into the wilderness. And so Gladius heads towards the city gates, looks at the wilderness ahead, and turns around. And I'm gonna go to Rathalas Sill and say, how did these things come in here? Did they breach the wall, or were they summoned?
We have no idea. Our first notice of anything came from your Mages Guild, actually. Men on watch.
No, it didn't. You said there had been other attacks that night.
Yes, but it was only noted as we were responding to that initial call. This happened almost instantly everywhere. As we were running out to respond to the Mages Guild, we noticed other break-ins, other windows smashed, other victims lying in the streets. We had no warning, no notice. They were simply here. A summoner is a good guess, but it's truly hard to say. Perhaps these are stealthy creatures that were able to evade my watch's eyes, but still so many all at once. What could have caused this? What could have called them to here?
If you find out, let me know.
In the meantime, good luck to you, cousin.
I'm making a note of it, but also I'm like, why do I need a pig's name?
You need a pig's name because your name's a little bit burned right now. You're supposedly dead.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I might just use any name. Swildag. Swildag.
Swildak Rathalos. Or just Swildak.
Yeah.
Gladius.
It's not Gladius spelled backwards. It's what Gladius thinks Gladius spelled backwards is.
Okay. All right. So, the guard doesn't know what happened, but this attack was devastating. So, what do you do next?
I think I'm like, who would know? Who would be aware of something like this and know where to look? And my thoughts go to my buddy Caius Cosades, because he's a fucking spy master, and if he doesn't know, then yeah. So I'm gonna stomp over to his house.
Okay.
And knock on the door.
When you get there, the door is in shards. You are not the first person this night to kick this door in. And you see the bodies of several ash servants in the room. Caius is seated at his table, a skooma pipe and a medicine kit on the table. He looks at you as he's binding up his ribs and says, "Oh, looks like you've had almost as fun a night as me."
I nod and I count and I'm like, "Oh, you're winded after 10 of them?"
Well, alone and trying not to be seen as an effective fighter from outside the door. By the way, my wards are still in place even if the door is busted. We won't be eavesdropped on, but do keep your voice down.
What happened?
I'd imagine about the same thing that happened to you. They just showed up.
Okay, but you're a spy master. What happened?
Well, that's a good question. And as he says that, a familiar lizard face steps through the door, and with a ring of toes around his neck. And Caius looks up and says, "Report." Nine Toes looks at you, but then nods and says, "Footsteps. Many, many footsteps leading from the south gate, as well as over the mountains on the east side and all around the wall. It looks like they scaled the ramparts, and as well as the wall, as well as the mountainside to make it in. Stealthy buggers. I saw a few of them operating through the streets, and it is quite difficult to spot them when they're trying to stay quiet. It's only once they open their mouths that the danger starts." Caius nods and says, "Well, do you know as much as me now? Nine Toes is one of the best scouts that I have quick access to."
They came down from the mountain, the volcano.
Nine Toes looks at you and says, the mountains on the east side of Balmora."
Sorry,
Balmora has a north and south wall, but it's nestled in between mountains to the west and east. Sort of a natural barrier. It's a valley. So they made it over both the south wall and the eastern mountains, which are largely impassable.
Yeah, like southeast is the general direction of the volcano mouth from here.
Volcano is more northeast.
Right. No, you're right. I'm gonna say Nine Toes. where we're gonna have to track down where they came from. Make sure this doesn't happen again.
Agreed. Caius looks at the both of you and says, yeah, that seems like a natural fight. A natural pairing. Nine Toes, lead him to the spot and give him whatever assistance needed. Let's shut this threat down as fast as we can. I don't necessarily have orders from the Blades to deal with this, but I think we can easily say that it is impeding the Emperor's efforts within the region. So, anything else?
What are you gonna do?
Well, first, I'm gonna get a door, which will be quite difficult to do while pretending to be an old skooma cat. Speaking of...
there's people who need help outside. My respect for you is draining, but we can talk later. I'm gonna leave.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm gonna follow Nine Toes' lead.
Okay. Nine Toes takes you out of the city, down through the south gate. He's not exactly a chatty fellow. And in the early dawn hours, he sets a grueling pace, stopping only to make sure that he's finding the markings of footprints in the mud. Every now and then he will sniff the air. You even see him a couple of times put his long tongue onto the ground as the two of you walk from the soft, loamy ground from around the river and enter into the ashlands of the Foyata to the east of Balmora. He turns south as you enter the Foyata. So you're moving away from the volcano entirely, which even he, as he makes the turn, makes sort of a rumble in the back of his throat.
I'd like to roll to recognize a god.
Okay.
When you want to recognize the signs or influence of a god of the cradle, roll 2d6, add 1 for each true statement. You're in or near their domain, you're familiar with their gospel, it'd be bad if you didn't know. On a hit, the GM will give you a clear interpretation of the omens, ask your GM a single follow-up question of your choosing, and they must answer honestly. Blah blah blah. Let me roll for it. I don't know. So you tell me, am I in or near their domain?
Yes.
Okay.
And it would be bad if you didn't know, so you have a +2.
Okay. Don't roll too well this time. Okay, 6 + 2 is 8. So that is, the GM will give you a clear interpretation of the omens.
So you realize that you've had sort of a ringing in your ears. Perhaps at first you had thought it was part of the fighting and it had blended into the background, but that ringing, it's been getting louder as you and Nine Toes have continued out into the wilderness. And at this point you realize it's sort of a song. It's not just a single tone. There's variation, there's change. And it's growing louder the further you get from Balmora, the more that you follow this trail. So, ask a follow-up question.
No, the GM will give you a clear interpretation of the omens.
Okay, so I feel like that's fairly clear. Like, you are moving in the right direction, you are hearing a song.
Okay. Right. I'd like to recognize the signs or... Oh, okay. So, like, the signs of a god or the influence of a god. Mm-hmm. Basically, I'm trying to identify, like, what divinity is tied to the fiends that attacked. Basically, I'm trying to, like, identify our enemy, both by like what I remember of the fiends, by the tracks they left, by
Well, that the first part is like you have fought similar enemies before. They have been very strongly affiliated with the ash statues, with the with what seems to be the Sixth House cult. But as far as the direct influence that is around you, that is closest to you, it seems to be that there is a song pulling you forward that you hadn't been aware of previously, and that is growing in volume as you approach.
Okay. So my follow-up question is, which Daedra would I associate with singing?
Daedra associated with singing would probably most be Sheogorath, the Daedra of music, technically. But
And
this doesn't
and madness and a couple of other things.
But this doesn't feel notably Daedric. This feels more attached to the Sixth House.
Okay. I'm like, okay. Gladius reaches the obvious conclusion that the Sixth House is affiliated with Sheogorath.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell Nine Toes that, and then using my sense of hearing, I'm gonna like head.
Yeah, the two of you are able to move at somewhat of a faster clip now that you're not needing to rely on physical signs in the space around you. Which
I wrote a lot of stuff in the wrong notebook.
Which the two of you continue traveling down the Foyata until you move first past a crack in the wall and begin to hear the sound instead diminish instead of increasing. And Nine Toes peers in and says, "Well, this is likely our destination. Who knows what we're facing down there, though."
But the sound is weaker, so...
Well, you moved past it, it got weaker. So you circle back.
No, we circle back. Got it.
Could be anything. Are you in your full fighting force? I know what you have at your command.
I don't know what I have at my command. You better stay back. Last time I tried to channel my magics, I heard people around me, even with that healing spell, so...
Well, it's a good thing I carry a bow, I suppose. I'll try to...
I meant farther back than that.
I'll guard the door, make sure no one comes behind your back.
Sounds good. And if you don't hear back from me get Kais to send more reinforcements.
Of course. I'll notify him now as to our location. That way, if something happens to me as well, they can try to send a Legion force in to clear it.
Okay. I think as we were walking up here, I brought back, checked my notebook, and I mentioned a few things to Nine Toes, tried to get a conversation we'd previously had going again. So I remember that he hated being assigned to Vardenfell and hated assassination. So I'm gonna try to like ask him how he feels about Vardenfell and how it's affected his daily life to be here. Basically doing a deeper dig into agitation, but I'm gonna use a move for that because there's the move connect with someone. Tell them something intimate and answer one. The GM will reveal a fragment of their pain as they answer the other.
So what intimate thing do you share with Nine Toes?
What common grounds do we share? What still divides us? I think that like I think that like he is also unsettled by the wildlife, that it's like feels alien to him even now, like even as a ranger, and that's the common ground that we share, is that like we're living in a full dependence of like civilization and like our like we are both like having to like work our asses off just to like stay in society and like not be sort of thrown to the Nix hounds. And you tell me what still divides us.
As you talk about the benefits of being able to rely on society, it's hard to recognize, but you see a flash of pain flicker over his face. And he says, yes, but at least until you open your mouth, you are still a Dunmer. The best reaction I can expect from the locals is that they ignore my presence. At worst, well, slave catchers abound, and a free Argonian is the same as an escaped slave to many of them. That's actually this toe.
I'm gonna say I'm a Dunmer, whether my mouth is open or closed, but if this will help you see me as a brother, then you said I was still a Dunmer until I open my mouth, so I'm gonna keep my mouth open so that we can connect a little bit.
Close your mouth before the ash gets in.
No, it's okay, I'm fine. I can do this all day. Like, I don't exactly understand why he says that I stopped being a Dunmer in his eyes when I open my mouth, but if it means I can connect with him more, I'm gonna just keep my mouth open.
Okay.
Like, when there's ash, I put the scarf over it.
But your mouth is still open underneath.
Yeah, like.
Okay.
I latch on to totally the wrong thing about this discussion.
Yeah,
but
he breathes out heavily through his nostrils and refocuses on moving. I think that's sort of as much of a conversation as he'll engage in. But I do like that.
I think that like entering the tunnel and leaving him behind is kind of like the first time in a while that I like close my lips. And I'm gonna drink a little bit of water because my throat is parched after keeping my mouth open for this long.
So, as you enter the tunnel, first it's quite dark in here. There are no lights on. Luckily, you have dark vision. Yes, You are able to still perceive the space around you, but it is somewhat difficult because the song in your ears is growing louder and louder the closer that you step. At this point, its volume is echoing and increasing. It's quite distracting. It's odd. It's soothing and agitating. You feel like there's something you must do, but also calmer than you've ever been in your life.
Okay. I'm gonna I think I'm gonna tear pieces of cloth and sort of like stuff my ears with them, trying, like, if this is a sort of like weirdly divine song, then I'm trying not to be influenced as I step farther in.
That is excellent. Let's see. Yeah. So as you do so, it's you stuff your ears, which normally would mean that you are losing your blind side, which it is full dark in here. But you actually, it's almost as if the place lights up with this faint glow. You don't know if it's real or just within your eyes, but you feel strong, powerful. Your divinity has actually been triggered here. You've used your own mortal wits and skills, like even if it was sort of a little impulsive, by blocking up your ears, you have solved a big problem using only your own wits. So you have triggered your divinity.
Very nice.
And yeah, I'm still going to let you navigate around despite your blind side too.
Okay.
At least as long as you've got your divinity active. Ba-ba.
Appreciate it.
Cool. All right. So, you come across several more ash servants, most of which are easily enough cut down, but they seem very mindless, like moving against you. But they're coming from like the dark corners around you, sort of hidden amongst the rocks. You descend further and further into this tunnel. The heat is becoming overwhelming. You can tell that there is some sort of lava force in here. You travel down and down and down, dark, and oddly, it does become brighter and brighter and brighter, and eventually you get down to the bottom and you can see the glowing lava all around you. A narrow bridge leads towards an island in the center of this magma pit. And standing there atop it, you see Sleeper. This.
Okay. That is nasty looking. I think that like Gladius sees this and thinks this is an animal. This is an animal that's latched onto somebody's face like a face hugger.
But on the same dais in the center of this lava with the ascended sleeper stands three more things. Two are large stone basins, and the third is a set of bells with a hammer next to them.
I've seen that before in the place where I rescued Marianne. There were like a series of bells. I remember there being 4, not 3, but that's
you 6th house bells.
Got it. Okay, so but
So a set of bells and then 2 large stone basins stand on the dais with this monstrosity. As soon as you enter this space, it pulls a hand up towards you, sort of limp, as if it's being puppeteered. And a wave of air hits you. Perhaps sound accompanied it, but you don't know. Your ears are fully blocked.
Okay. I'm gonna yell, whoever you are, stop what you're doing and don't attack Satanine. Don't attack Balmora ever again.
Okay.
Not if you understand.
Okay. You're once again buffeted by a burst of air, and I'm going to need you to mark 2 strain.
Okay. I don't have a lot of those left. Okay, in this case, I'm going to inflict violence on this thing.
Okay.
So, they wish me harm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a +1. I'm like, if I take another hit like this, I have to make the move, mark the 5th strain.
Well, you only have 2 strain marked right now. You don't, and you have 5 total.
Yeah, I took one earlier when I was.
Oh, you're right.
Building
Yeah,
a power.
yeah,
So
that's
if I take another one of those, I am.
Dunzo. Yeah.
Done. Like, well, I don't know if it's like, I haven't read the full move, but
Yeah,
I
you
do
have
think,
to pick if you die.
I do think that it's desperate. I don't think it's personal. So I've got a +2 for this.
Okay.
8 + 2. Fuck. All right. This part of the fight ends on your terms. I think I do my best to grab this thing and like throw it into the lava before it's able to like hit me with anything else. I lose myself to Righteous Fury. The GM will tell you the costs of your divinity. So I think it's what's
Okay. So first, you throw him into the magma. You're standing on the dais. You can see into the stone basins. There's rotting meat and stacks of clothes. But nothing could survive being tossed into magma like that. So your back is turned, and you don't see as it rises again from the magma, dripping with molten stone, and it spits another unheard word. And the magma shakes off of it, some of it landing on you. Mark 1 more strain.
alrighty. I
Remember that you do have your divinity active.
yeah. Is this a god in their true form? I feel like that's a I know, like that is
This does seem to be a minor deity.
yeah.
Yes.
This thing is basically like I mean, the fact that it shrugged off some lava is telling.
Yes.
So when I confront a god in their true form and exploit their downfall to kill them, I don't know what their downfall is. Cool. I'm gonna try to pray for, like, instead of unleashing divinity, because that might be like a step to getting the downfall, I'm gonna pray for guidance. I'm gonna pray for guidance for like, how do I, like, what is this thing's weakness? And I'm going to say that Fala is going to answer my prayer.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
Betrayal, backstabbing, assassination, the Black Hand, all that good stuff. You know, it's very, very fitting in this moment, I think.
Okay. Your vision becomes clouded for a moment, as if covered in webs. You're lying on your back near the dais, and you realize that the only thing that you can see clearly is the hammer and the bells. And in that moment, the memory of the song comes back to you. It had sounded like bells.
Okay.
But you can't hear it.
I think in this case I'm going to, like, if this thing is, like, if its nature is song, then then I'm going to basically like grab the hammer and try to destroy the bells.
Very nice.
So I don't think that that's inflicting violence on someone.
Nope, this is killing a god.
Okay.
You already stumbled across the downfall, which was to destroy the bells while not hearing their song.
Hell yeah.
So you already walked into that. You already had their downfall. This is their heart. You are killing a god.
Hell yeah. Okay. So
you
2d6.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, that's a 5. A strong hit. Blah 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 blah. On a miss, 6 or less, they bestow a curse upon you with their dying breath. Regardless of your roll, you seize a semblance of their power. Cool. I don't know if I hear what the curse is, but yeah. I basically like as it's like comes towards me, I'm going as I'm striking the bells. I think one of the blows like strikes a bell with the divine smite, and then keeps going and strikes it with shards of the bell itself, embedding it inside of it, and like I'm gonna topple the last like the rack on top of it, pushing it back down in the lava, and as like light comes out of the shards inside of it, it's like its divinity pours out, and its resistance to lava sort of like ebbs as it starts to like burn.
Okay. So I'm gonna add on 2 of the tentacles flowing from out of its face. Reach up and are able to move the wads in your ears enough that you can hear its voice, which sort of rattles in your mind still more than actual speech. But you can hear it say, "You have denied my beauty to the world. Thou shalt not create that which is beautiful."
Okay.
As it dies.
Cool.
So you then take possession of their power, which is communion. Which it emphasized that via song, but the power itself is communion.
I'm a bard, baby! Alright. Cool. Good place to stop.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. I like. Okay, my star. I really like the that you were down to switch systems. I'm happy with the decisions that you're making. Like they like at the start, I was worried. Like the first move can sometimes inform you as to how much things can change whenever a move is being rolled, and I was like, oh, like you lose yourself to righteous fury when like inflicting violence. I was like, oh, Ajira's gonna die from this, and when she didn't die, instead but the healing did like kill the others. I was assured I can like trust you to have significant changes and developments in the narrative in a way that is favored by powered by the apocalypse systems. Mm-hmm. So my star is how you like.
Which she definitely would have died on a miss, just for the record, or if you hadn't attempted it. I appreciate that. I definitely think we've got some kinks to iron out. This is a system I have to get used to. It's a system you've got a little bit to get used to too, I think, as a player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wish?
My wish is for character sheets to be printed out.
Yeah, can do. I am also definitely printing out those move sheets so that I can have the book open on here instead of the move sheet.
Yeah.
My star, I don't know. I love the fact that I was putting down enough of the stuff about music that you sort of stumbled into the understanding correctly. I mean, I did try to have a downfall that would be easy to pick up in a short little session, and I'm very glad that you were picking up what I was putting down. I thought that was great.
Yeah, no, that's good cooperative storytelling.
Mm-hmm. And I think wish. I don't know. I'm really excited to see how this sort of ripples out as a change in the rest of the storytelling of this, because I can already tell that we are refocusing a little bit more on the stuff that I think we both find more impactful in a story. So I am a little excited, a little reinvigorated. I think that went really well, even with some wrinkles.
Yeah. I knew that the prologue was in this sort of game is very scripted in the Senate, but I was excited to see how you were gonna do it. I was like, if very likely there's gonna be a flash forward or something like this, but I also really like how you just wove it into the existing narrative really well. So yeah. And also, my divinity is still awakened. I haven't used it yet. So I'm very, very proud of myself for it's lovely with these games where you can just be no, this move right here says you're unleashing it and changing the world, but what I want to do is to kill a god. So I'm gonna read the other move instead and see what the triggers are for that. Mm-hmm. And there's still negotiation as to what some aspects of the moves mean. Mm-hmm. But I love how we're discovering the system, getting used to it and stuff like this. I also really like the idea of for the not just like divination, but for the some of the moves, I answer half of it and you answer the other half.
Yeah.
Like that's very cooperative in,
Yeah.
in a way that like I find fun.
Yeah, I agree. I was really, really enjoying that. I also, out of curiosity...
Hold on. What was this? The star was...
the star was you sort of figuring out the downfall naturally. That's something I can generally trust Simon the player to pick up, what I'm putting down. But it's good to see that continue to translate over into this system.
Yeah.
Did you notice the common thread between the victims I described of the Ash servants in Balmora?
No.
Okay, that's fine.